Today we're going to look at adding and subtracting decimals. We're going to look at a few different mistakes that people make, and we're going to look at why. So please add today's date. You do not need to copy this word problem down. Let's just pull the information out of it and work together. So Aiden bought a book at the local bookstore for $8.56 with a $10 bill. The cashier gave her $2.56 in change. Change tells me I'm setting up a subtraction problem. Aiden told the cashier she did something wrong. So what did she do? I'm making change, so I'm going to set my problem up like $10. So we are writing this now. All the things I'm writing now you are copying. You just did not copy the problem down. So I had to take away $8.56. So what did the cashier do to get $2.56? Take a moment and try to figure that out. So if you figured out all that they did was subtract this number and then they simply copied, you were right. I can't do that. I can't just, when I have zeros up here, I can't just copy my number. Let's look at a place value chart and let's look at why. So here's my wholes. I'm going to make this be my tenths and this one be my hundredths. Okay, so if I'm starting with $10, so I need to draw 10 wholes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm starting with 10, and I have 0 tenths and 0 hundredths. I'm going to rewrite my problem on this side, and let's look at what we should be doing when I subtract. So I have to take away 8 of these, 5 of these, and 6 of the hundredths. 5 tenths and 6 hundredths. 8 wholes, 5 tenths, 6 hundredths. So I have to get some tenths, so I'm going to take one away. Over here, I'm going to take one away and make it 9. And I'm going to turn these into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm turning this into 10. But I still need to take 6 hundredths away. So I have to cross off, make it a 9. And I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like changing 1 dime for 10 pennies. So now I have some in every column. I added 10. So now all I have to do is subtract. So I have to take 6 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. I took 6 away. How many do I have left? I have 4 left. So down here I have 4 left. Now over here I have 9. I have to take 5 away. I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many do I have left? How many do I have left when I do it this way? Bring your decimal down, straight down. So I had 4 left. Now this time I have to take 8 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many do I have left? 9 minus 8 was 1. So I had 1 left. So my answer should have been $1.44. So when this guy did it wrong, he did not borrow. Sometimes borrowing across these zeros is hard for some people, but when I look at these in a place value chart, I understand why I had to trade. All right, let's look at what happens when we add. So Kenneth drove, we do not need to copy this problem down. He drove 9 9/95 miles to his grandmother's house. His cousin Billy drove 11 1/10 miles to meet him there. So how many total miles? Total tells me I'm going to add my two numbers together. So I'm going to add $9.95 plus $11.01. So I fill in with zeros. But if If I was going to do this, I would probably write it the other way. It's kind of traditional to write the larger number on top. So I'm going to rewrite my problem so it looks like the way I'm used to seeing problems. I filled in with a 0. Make sure that you note that. All right, so I'm going to look at this again with wholes, tenths, and hundredths. So I'm going to draw what I have. I have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 flats. I have 1/10, and I have 0 hundredths. Now I'm going to do this number in 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 tenths, and I have 5 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have to put all of these together. What does this give me? I have 5 total because I didn't have to add any. Now, I have 9 and 1. 9 and 1. Together, these give me 10. But I can't fit 10 in this column, so I'm going to trade it for one of these. I can't fit it all in this column, so I write a 0 and I trade it, or I carry it for one of those. Now, when I add these together, this was 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. But I can't fit those all there, so I have to do it this way in my problem. So, what I had to do was trade, or we call it carrying. When I do it this way, it's called carrying. When I do it this way, it's called trading. So this is what it looks like using place value blocks. This is really what we're doing, but this is what we're doing in the shortcut form. So we're going to go ahead and practice 2 more problems. You might still have space on the front of you. You're going to see some of these problems tomorrow. So if I have 7 and 34 hundredths and I'm trying to figure out what number do I have to take away to get $4.56. I can't do 4 minus a number and get 6. That would give me so I must have had to borrow from this column. How could I figure this out? I could rewrite this problem because when I do subtracting, I could subtract the 4 and 56 hundredths and get the same answer. So what am I going to do? I can't do 4 minus 6. So I'm going to draw a place value chart. My wholes, my tenths, my hundredths. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 1, 2, 3. And I have 4 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have to try to take away. I don't have enough. So I had to take away and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I don't have 4. Now I have 14 of these. So if I take 6 away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away, I have 8 left. So what I did is I took 1 away from here and I made this a 14 because I borrowed 10. 14. Now I can't do 2 minus 5, so I have to borrow 1 again. I have to add 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I'm taking 5 away. 12 minus 5 happens to be 7. And I could see that right here in my picture. 6 minus 4 is 2. So my answer that should go right here is 2 and 7/800. So how did I find this? I rewrote my problem. I took these 2 parts and wrote it right here to get my subtraction problem. That's what I did. I rewrote it right there. Let's do one more, but we're going to do it without the pictures. That's just like this. What did I do to get 1 and 9/10? What did I do last time? I rewrote my problem like this. And what do I have to do under that 7? I have to fill in with a 0. I can't do 2 minus 9. borrow, and this becomes a 12. Minus 9 is 3. Okay, so here's my answer. That should go right here. Let's do one more about borrowing across zeros. I want you to pause the video and see if you can do it. If you need help, flip back over to your other problem where we did one just very similar, but we did it with 10. All right, let's see what you did. I don't have anything to borrow over here. So just like in my place value chart, I had to cross off and give the next column some. So I have to cross off. This becomes a 10, but I have to borrow again. So now it becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. But I have to borrow again. This becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. So every time I'm having to trade my columns. Now I can do 10 minus 8 and get 2. 9 minus 7 and get 2. 9 minus 3 and get 6. 1 minus nothing and get 1. So some of you know the shortcut way to do this, and the middle numbers both end up to be a 9, and the one over on the right ends up to be a 10. But every time we borrow 10, but then we have to continue to take away. So we are going to practice this tomorrow in class. If you are struggling with the zeros and how to do it, try drawing a place value chart or asking your partner or me for help.